Hello, my dear apprentices. This is your coach, Mr. Magno, with this new lesson. It's lesson 11, module 2. In this lesson, you will multiply decimal fractions by multi-digit whole numbers. Please remember to write your name, write the date, and also highlight the commands given to us. Estimate the product, that's the first command. Second command is solved using the standard algorithm. And the third command is use the thought bubbles to show your thinking. And the optional part is draw an area model if you think it's necessary for you to get this problem correct. Now, this is what happens here. On this one, we are going to use the place value chart. Okay, my friends, to simplify this decimal multiplication, what is being done here is demonstrating how when you multiply the 2 and 42 hundredths times 100, that results in a number without a decimal. Let me explain. Remember 242. So the number is 2 and here's the decimal point, 42 hundredths, right? Since we want to work with a number that does not have a decimal point, you multiply it by 100. And why by 100? Because you see two digits to the right of the whole number, which is the number 2. Now, then you will go back here and you will multiply that by 100, which means all the numbers will move twice to the left. So the number 2 is 200 times bigger now. And the 4/10 is going to be also moved to the left 2 times, and now the 4/10 is no longer a 4/10, it is a 4/10. And the last digit, which is the hundredths, is going to end up in the ones place. And now that's how you make that one. You sort of like get rid of that decimal numbers. Now you can multiply it as a whole number. And again, let's do that multiplication. It will be 2 times 2 equals 4. 2 times 4 equals 8. And 2 times 2 equals 4. Okay, there's the simplicity of multiplying the first whole number. Now remember, if that's a 1/10, then we have to drop a 0 right below the ones. And now you multiply 1 times 242, the answer is 242. Once you're finished, then we find the product. 4 plus 0 equals 4. And 8 plus 2 equals 10. You carry 1 over. And 4 plus 4 equals 8. And 8 plus 1 equals 9. And the total on the last column is 2,904. Now, remember, this is not the actual answer. So here's what they do. They show you your thinking. This number 2,904 is 100 times too large. We're going to grab the number 2,904 divided by 100. 2,904 divided by 100 is going to bring all the numbers to the right twice. So now the 4 ones is 4 hundredths. The 0/10 is now going to be 0/10. The 9 hundredths is now turning into 9 ones. And the 2,000 is now going to be reduced to this number 29. So that should be the answer with the decimal point in between, 29.4. And this is exactly how they're showing you the thinking, 29.04. So this number is closer to 2, so we're going to round to 2. And that 12 is closer to 10. So that'll be 2 times 10 equals 20. And as you can see, this estimation is not reasonable. That is one problem. Let's do one more. If you look at this number again, what can we do? Well, remember, in our thinking bubble, we're going to multiply because it has two digits to the right of the decimal point. Then we'll multiply by 100, and that will cause it to be a number that is going to be a number without decimals. 4 decimal point 1300 times 100, 1, 2. So now the 3 is 3 ones. And the 100 is going to be 1/10. And the last digit, which is the 1, is going to be now 4 hundredths. So now we're using this number 413 to solve the multiplication. So we're going to treat this number as such. Now let's do the multiplication. Remember, let's for some of you guys who need this visual, 7 times 3 equals 21. You carry 2 over to the next digit. 7 times 1 equals 7 plus 2 equals 9. And 7 times 4 equals 28. Okay? Having accomplished that, rewind this video if you need help and something wasn't clear. Now remember that 7 was multiplied, so now it becomes a 0 because that's 3/10. So since we're multiplying 30, we drop a 0 right below that 1, which means that we multiplied it by 10. And now we multiply the 3. 3 times 3 equals 9. 3 times 1 equals 3. And 3 times 4 equals 12. Now we have two partial products. And the total is going to be 1. 9 plus 9 equals 18. We carry 1 over. That would be 1 plus 3 equals 4. 4 plus 8 equals 12. We carry 1 over. 2 plus 2 plus 1, that total is 5. And now we have this number. All right, now remember that this is going to be 100 times too big. So what we need to do now is, because we multiplied it the first time, now we're going to divide this number by 100 so we can get the actual answer. And you're going to ask again, why by 100? Because in the beginning, we multiplied it by 100 because the original number had two digits to the right of the decimal point. All numbers are going to shift to the right of the decimal point twice. So 1 is now a 100. 1, 2, that will be a tenth. 1, 2, that 200 is going to be now 2 ones. And as you can see, the process repeats itself. And every time we do this kind of movement and using the place value chart. So now we know that the actual answer is 152 and 81 hundredths. All right, so now we know that once we have done the reverse, which is divide the answer by 100, then we'll get the actual number, which will be the number that we desire here. So the number now is going to be 100 times smaller. So it's going to be 152 decimal point 81 hundredths. Let's do our estimation to see if that's somewhat correct. We should be doing the estimation first, but let's just do it now. So 4 and 13 hundredths is rounded to 4 because 13 hundredths is really close to 4. 37 is very close to 40. Now, we multiply 4 times 4 equals 16 times the 10, which is represented by the 0, equals 160. And notice that this is a reasonable estimation because the actual answer is very, very close. So my friends, this is the lesson for today. Please rewind it. Make sure you are paying attention. If a step is not clear, rewind that part of the video and then watch it again. Your coach, Mr. Magno. Once you become the greatest mathematician ever in your life. Signing out.